Explore the mystical side of life in a multi-dimensional way. Welcome to Integrative Mystic with Anne Vivian.
Welcome to Integrative Mystic. This is Anne Vivian coming to you from beautiful, weirdly warm New England. It's, I guess, unusually warm all over the country right now. Welcome. Please come in. Won't you join me? Thank you so much for joining me. We are wrapping up a long 17 episode series exploring the 15 archangels, which, if you can believe, I began back in July. If you've gone with me on this whole series, bless you. And oh my goddess, just bless you. And I'm so charmed you have flown with me through this whole series. If you're just joining me, I am wrapping up this several month 17 episode series exploring 15 different archangels using my own personal intuitive communication with each archangel as part of the content for each show, and also my research about archetypal and religious, spiritual, mystical information and writings about each archangel. It's been quite an honor and a privilege to explore something that I've wanted to explore personally. I've been meaning to do a 15 archangel deep dive, envelope divination, communing research series personally in my personal spiritual practice. And so it has been very motivating to have this podcast to be able to do this in a way where I can share it with others and spark conversations with others and connect with others about archangels and higher vibrational beings and working with them and these energies. And so I encourage you, go on your own journey with these archangels. I would love to hear about your experiences. So we're going to have a wrap-up series today. I'm just going to share with you some insights, revelations, suggestions, my own reflections, considering working with the archangels. I'll pull some, as usual, tarot and oracle cards at the end of the show. Before we get started, let me just invite you to come in energetically, my friend. Take a deep breath. Feel yourself connected with the earth angel, Gaia, running her sacred energy through you. Release any stress from the day. You can release it back to the earth, to Gaia, to transmute. You can release it to the cosmos to be recycled. Feel the cosmic energy, the sun, the stars, the angels shining down on you from above. Some of the angels are shining on you from below, those earth angels. Feel that beautiful cosmic energy just radiating into your own soul, shining and radiating the light of spirit shining within you. Remembering your own divinity and your own connection. Welcome to the world between worlds. So, archangels. Oh my goddess. One of the things that I like to share with you in this podcast episode is this insight I have about how multidimensional these angels are. And it's something that I've found to be true with other types of spirit guides, other types of entities that I've worked with, including nature spirits, herbs, crystals, ascended masters. And I've done envelope divination or psychic blindfold, where I don't know which crystal or herb or angel I'm communicating with by putting the name of the angel or whatever I'm working with in a blank envelope and shuffling the envelopes and then communing one by one with the entity written on the envelope. And I've done envelope divinations with crystals, with plant spirits, and with other entities and other subject matter as well. And I found that, like crystals, like the plant spirits, archangels really are multidimensional in nature. In other words, you might tune into a personality or an energy or a description of that angel or entity that fits the sort of zeitgeist, that fits the sort of, general metaphysical community, or even, Christian community, or other, religious or spiritual or holistic community. Their general impression, their general description and agreed upon description of that angel or entity. And sometimes you might do this practice and tune into a more lesser known aspect of that angel or entity. This is something that happens, it's quite interesting. And sometimes when I do the research on the angel or nature spirit, plant spirit crystal that I'm working with, I find that there are more esoteric, lesser known aspects that are really resonating with what I'm tuning into. And I hear other people talk about it too. And it's very validating. And, every now and then I tune into something I really can't find in the literature. And, I think there's a question of, am I tuning into a lesser known aspect, or an aspect that's individual and unique to me and my relationship with this angel or entity? Or maybe I'm not having the most intuitive day. Maybe I need to, ground a little bit more and open my chakras more. But usually, in my experience, you will find that just because you're tuning into something not 100% aligning with the masses folklore or tradition for what that angel or entity represents, or the description of the personality, it doesn't mean that it's not legit. It doesn't mean it's not legitimate, true, that you're not really tuning in. With the archangels, I usually tuned into the general energy that has the general impression or reputation among the masses, as far as I could tell with talking to other people and reading books and researching and going online. And but sometimes it was very interesting, a very idiosyncratic aspect of a particular angel. And I would get this sometimes several times, which is more validating. If you tune in several times and get the same thing, that can be very validating, that you're not just making this up, you're getting a pattern now. And sometimes I get something more esoteric, like for instance, Archangel Michael. At first, I did really hear, when I held the envelope, this is Archangel Michael, but I immediately just dismissed that with my analytical mind, because I said, I can't know what archangel it is immediately. I'm doing an envelope divination. That's not how this works. So, but then when I tuned in, I got a very strong throat chakra communication, blue energy type of vibration from this archangel. And turns out Archangel Michael is associated with the blue ray and with communication and using your voice. And I was definitely tuned into that more esoteric aspect of Michael. Most people associate Michael with protection and fire and courage and energy. And that's one of his aspects. That's one of his dimensions, but he has other dimensions. So I encourage you to open yourself to whatever dimension, whatever experience you have when you're working with the archangels. Like I said, usually when I would tune into the archangel in this series, I would get something more or less that was resonating, that was kind of coinciding with what the general impression of that archangel was. But sometimes it was different, and I tried to share that with you. And I wanted to share that with you in the spirit of, be open to, if you get some kind of different experience with any kind of archangel, any kind of, entity or ascended master, spirit, animal, totem that you're working with, trust that there's a process happening, and keep tuning in. And even if it doesn't coincide with what you think the entity, quote unquote, should be feeling like, or presenting itself to you, trust the process, my friend, and keep tuning in, and trust your own unique experience is my encouragement to you. Sometimes certain archangels and guides are paired with you to kind of balance your energy. So, for instance, to sort of as a polarity to balance your energy. So, for instance, if you're very shy, it might be very healing for you to work with Metatron or Michael. These archangels specialize. They're more of a confident, brazen energy, so they can help you kind of bring that out in your own consciousness to balance it. Sometimes you're attracted to, or an angel is paired with you, or an angel is, you know, presenting itself to you who is more on your wavelength, the same ray, the same ray of light, or the same kind of personality or energy. And this helps you to connect with the energy that, might be more closely aligned with your conscious personality. So there's no right or wrong way, but sometimes we get help from angels guides that's unexpected, but it can be healing in different ways. So through this Archangel series, I shared a few personal experiences. One of them was I lost a third of, it must have been like 30% or more of this angel deck by Maruni, and her first name escapes me right now. I love these angel cards, and I lost them outside when I was just drawing some cards outside. I didn't realize they must have blown away in the wind. And in the middle of the series, I found them. I found the lost cards, which were discolored and warped by the, water and humidity and snow and rain. And it was just a very cool experience. I wanted to just reflect again in this episode, a synchronicity of coming back to, reconnecting with that angelic energy. And I feel like there is a cosmic reconnection that's happening with higher planes of consciousness that's reflected in the collective. But it really was, I felt a sign, as I'm working with the archangels, they're coming back to me. And during this series, I had a couple dreams with the archangels. I shared a few dreams with you. One I had with Sandalphon a couple years ago, and then a very recent one I had with Michael. I believe I mentioned that I had a couple of these dreams, and that's often how I connect with the archangels. Very powerful. When an archangel visits me in a dream, it's a very powerful, vivid dream. I'm interested. If you've had any dreams, please drop me a line, send me an email or a message. Creative Psyche Studio is my social media, but these tend to be very physical and visceral dreams for me. I tend to have very intense energy vibrations in my body. And when I wake up, I can still feel the energy vibrations in my body. So they tend to be very powerful dreams. And I feel just so blessed. It's so sacred when I'm visited by an archangel. They're so high vibrational that to be visited by them, to me, means you have to be somewhat higher in your vibration. You have to have developed and evolved your vibration, taken care of your own energy, to the point that you're able to even, connect with them for the most part. And the energies are, sometimes they're subtle, sometimes they're intense when I work with them consciously, but in my dreams, they tend to be very, very intense. And just, I don't know what else to say. It just feels like I've had an experience. It feels like I've been touched by something more expanded in consciousness, more multidimensional, more higher consciousness after I have these dreams. I love pairing angels with crystals and sometimes incense in my prayer work and ritual work. I intuitively choose which angel, which crystal to work with. And, angels work really beautifully with just so many other kinds of spirit guides and practices. So they work really well, whatever your spiritual practice is. If you're attracted to working with archangels, you can call on other kinds of spirit guides, and they tend to harmonize very beautifully. I also work with other spirit guides in my personal spiritual practice, and I just want to share with you. Again, I always like to do envelope divination or psychic blindfold when possible, to tune into my own personal intuitive experience of each angel or being that I'm working with. And I encourage you to do the same. They're all just different expressions of one divine consciousness, of which we are all a part. And for you to have your own personal experience tuning into that crystal or herb or animal or angel or goddess or whatever it may be can help you have a very particular, a very not just particular, but you're able to connect with that being in a more personal way. So you're not just reading about it in a book or listening to what someone else says, call on an archangel, blah, blah, blah for this, or pray to this for this, or use this herb to heal this, or this crystal to heal this. Instead, you are directly communicating with that being, the mineral spirit of that crystal or the angelic spirit, and getting information about how to work with it. And that is going to help you to understand more personally, more specifically, how you might work with that being. So I encourage you to experiment, if you will. Again, what I'm referring to is envelope divination or psychic blindfold. I'm sorry I keep repeating this. If you've been listening to my whole series, and I'm sure you're thinking, and we know what you're talking about. You've been talking about it every episode. But if this is your first time tuning in, I want to make sure you know what the heck I'm talking about. Those terms I used to describe writing down the name of a crystal, angel, herb, entity, being on an index card, putting it in a blank envelope, shuffling that with other entities of the same type. So a bunch of angels or a bunch of crystals. And I've even done this with actual crystals where I place them in unmarked small little boxes and then held the box. So you hold the box of the envelope and you use your intention to tune in the crystal or the herb or the name of the entity in the blank envelope, and then use your intuition to record what personality, energy, healing, uses. How can you help people? What is your message? I usually tune into those particular aspects of the being. I record them. I do all of the series that I'm doing at once. Often, but sometimes, like with the Archangel series, I will do it one at a time or in chunks. And then I will go back and research each one. And like in this series, I'll research what other people have said about this angel or entity, what I find in books, what I find online. Have there been, religious or esoteric or spiritual or folklore mythology writings about this entity? It's absolutely fascinating to do, and it helps you strengthen your intuition as well. It's just a great practice to be a shamanic, spiritual, witchy, priestess, angelic, Christ consciousness, multidimensional, starseed, spiritual practitioner. Whatever your practice is it can strengthen that connection you have with whatever you're tuning into. So I encourage you to do that with whatever your spiritual practice is, whatever energies you're working with. So in summary, help is available to you, my darling. This is just one form of higher vibrational or divine assistance. Archangels are just one form of the many types of divine assistance that are available to you. Trust your own experiences, even if they're different than others. Maybe they are similar, but even if they're different, trust your own experiences and perceptions and ways of relating to these beings. Trust your own instinct about how to work with the archangels. Or any entity. There's traditions and sometimes dogma about how to work with these higher vibrational beings, but trust your own intuition and your own process about how you might work with these angels in a way that's in harmony with you and your spiritual practice. Trust the journey. Trust that divine source will guide you along the way in how to incorporate any kind of angel or spirit guide into your practice. I have been very humbled in this 17 episode Archangel series, I feel I have uncovered a big chunk of mysteries, archangel, angelic mysteries for myself. And I feel there's so much more to uncover. And I can't wait to share it with you as I uncover more. We're uncovering it together. That's the fun of it, right? That's what a mystery is. There's parts of it we don't know, we're not supposed to know. And as we explore and we're these angelic explorers together, we get to figure out how this energy expresses and understanding this amazing, majestic energy and how to work with it. And I think that as we evolve and change, as humanity evolves and changes and grows, we're going through this ascension, this big shift in consciousness. The way we work with angels and ascended masters and guides changes because we're all shifting, and there's a cosmic shift here. So love to hear from you if you've had archangel experiences, if you've done the psychic blindfold envelope divination. If you have any thoughts, please send me a message on my social media. I'm Creative Psyche Studio, Facebook, Instagram, website, YouTube. We are now going to switch gears and I'm going to pull some cards for the week coming up. All right, my beautiful angels and angel lovers and psychic explorers and spiritual seekers. Let's pull some cards. Ooh, this one wanted to come out. Ooh, waves of prosperity, new abundance, and exciting opportunities wash over you now. Hello. We're doing these cards for the week of December 12th, 2022. And by the way, this is the last episode before the holiday break. So I will look forward to seeing you in January 2023. So this is the last episode of 2023. Wow, I'm just sort of realizing this as I say this. Pulling some cards for the week ahead. What do we need to know for this week? Of course, I'm going to pull an angel card. Kimberly Maroney, that's the name of the creator of this beautiful angel deck. Here we go. This one wanted to come out. Okay. So we've got waves of prosperity, helpful person, hangman or tarot card, excuse me, and the 7 of cups, interesting, and angel cards of surrender and courage. Okay. Yes. Here we go. So tuning in, what do we need to know for the week ahead? Well, opportunities for prosperity. I feel like there's a lot of people helping people. There's a lot of community support, and it's a great time to tap into support this week. You don't have to go it alone. So call on support, whether that's human support or angelic or cosmic. Call on support. Hangman and 7 of cups are really similar energies. It's kind of a it's not a moving forward. It's a expanding into other dimensions of time in a reflective way, perhaps even standing still. So yeah, this week, and we're moving into the holidays here. I feel like the Hanged Man, the 7 of cups, I feel we have the opportunity to realize more of the steps we need to take in order to move forward in the ways that we want to move forward. And this might have something to do with the helpful person. That helpful people might be helping give us the wisdom or connect us with our own insights or divine insights about what steps we could take to create that prosperity or achieve our goals in the way we want to achieve them. Angel cards of surrender and courage. I really do feel like we can be prosperous this week by surrendering. So, sort of take your foot off the gas pedal, allow spirit, allow divine source to guide you what is the divine guidance? What do I need to sort of let go and reflect on in order to understand what's plans and changes and steps I need to take to create what I want to create? And I feel like there's just a really strong intuitive vibe. You can tune into your intuition. I feel like this week very well. You can read between the lines. I feel like people are in a more giving mood. We are in the time of Sagittarius, and people are more willing to help you. You're more willing to help others. Maybe other people are more willing to help you. I feel like, surrendering to spirit and opening spirit to send you the right people, ideas, situations, material, everything you need to help you heal and grow and prosper and live your divine purpose. It's going to set up the right energy pattern for you to get that right insight. You can get some insights this week about what to do to achieve your goals. I'm going to pull just one final card for just the last part of 2023. Excuse me, I'm already in 2023. The last couple of weeks of 2022, because this will be my final episode of 2022. What do we need to know just for the year's end? Ooh, the Empress. You are the queen or the king. You're the guardian of your own realm. Allow divine consciousness to enter as you relax. So enjoy this holiday season. If you celebrate, Sagittarius is just a great time to understand the wisdom and power of partying and relaxing and having fun and just experiencing the pleasure of life. So allow the universe to bring you what you want. Slow down, manifest through surrender and allowing. And there is much to prosper and create in this next chapter. My friend, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, any of the episodes or series I have put out. I can't wait to continue this podcast in the new year and have some exciting guests on and exciting new shows exploring dreams and healing and multidimensional consciousness, psychosynthesis, and magic and mystery and healing practices from different interesting practitioners. I'm excited to continue this journey. It's been so delightful to do this podcast on mindbodyspirit.fm. And I want to thank Diane and Tina, my amazing podcast trailblazers who are the leaders and the managers and the stewards of this mindbodyspirit.fm. So thank you. Have a beautiful holiday. Happy New Year. I will see you in the new year. Blessings.